This is a beautiful backhand drive. We can also see it as an example of a well-designed ball striking mechanism. The mechanical principles which make it work so well are surprisingly simple. To explain these principles, we will examine 3 stages of this mechanism's working cycle, also known as the stroke. Keep in mind that the stroke is a chain of events, indivisible like a domino fall. After the initial boost, each stage is only the product of the previous stage. The thrust. This part of the stroke is the most important and dynamic. This is the power plant of the stroke. The thrust is a very forceful and explosive push of the ground, which sends the hips and the torso into rotation. The swing. Boosted by the torso, the arm swings, freewheeling around the shoulder joint. The energy created by the thrust sets the arm in motion. The shoulder muscles contribute nothing to the swing action. Winding down. The arm continues on its free and easy rotation around the shoulder, naturally slowing down and dissipating the energy. The thrust. In the context of the whole stroke, this part looks subtle and is always overlooked because the attention is naturally drawn to the fast-moving arm. But it is exactly this boost that drives the swing. With the help of the planes, you can clearly see how much the hips and the torso turn, and then they freeze. The swing. The arm remains relaxed throughout the whole swing. The arm and the racket move freely. They are thrown by the thrust and are simply going for a ride. The hips and the torso will remain in this position through the rest of the stroke. The hips and the torso do not move any longer. Their job of jump-starting the arm is done, and they remain idle. They do not interfere with the swing. Winding down. During this stage, the hips and torso do not change their well-balanced position. The arm is flying without any interference, runs out of energy, and then stops. This stage is a simple process of winding down. It is not some mandatory and utterly useless follow-through action. The final product of all stages is the racket path. Notice that except for a slight deviation of the racket head right after the impact with the ball, it is strictly a circular trail. Contrary to popular belief that the swing has to conform to some imaginary straight line, you cannot see any hint of it here. This swing is nothing but a swift and unobstructed rotation of the arm around the shoulder. Any attempt to steer the arm away from its natural rotation and direct it along some contrived, linear path results in dramatic loss of racket velocity and greatly diminished ball control. To sum it all up, it is the thrust that is responsible for the whole stroke. Putting it bluntly, Roger strikes the ball with his legs and not with the arm. Generating the thrust is not as easy as it might seem. It needs to be developed and practiced. Without Roger's powerful thrust, the strokes like these are simply not possible.